The OnePlus 9 series of devices is coming pretty soon, but as of right now, the OnePlus 8 Pro is still their flagship phone, and probably my favorite phone of 2020. But how does it stack up in a speed test against Apple's greatest contender, the iPhone 12 Pro Max? While the OnePlus is using a Snapdragon 865 chipset run on 7nm plus technology, which is soon to be replaced by the way, the iPhone is using the latest 5nm process node tech within its Apple A14 Bionic chip. The OnePlus also has twice the amount of RAM, and it is LPDDR5 as well. We have a 120Hz display on the OnePlus device where the Apple is stuck to 60, and we're going to be enabling the OnePlus at QHD plus resolution. We're going to be leaving the animations on the OnePlus to match that of the iPhone. Round 1 will be all about boot, fingerprint and face unlock. Round 2 will be about initial opening app speed, and round 3 will be all about RAM management. Using my fingers over here, so to keep things accurate, we're going to pop GoPro footage to the bottom left hand corner for accuracy. This is TechNick, and without further ado, let's go. We're going to kickstart round 1 off here with a boot to see which one can be powered on quicker than the other. It is indeed the iPhone 12 Pro Max with 17 seconds as opposed to the 19.5 on the OnePlus device. You must remember that the iPhone has been released quite a few months later than the OnePlus 8 Pro, so it is a much newer phone run on much faster tech, and it has its second point after going into the phone quicker. Now we're testing the optical fingerprint sensor against the Apple's 3D face unlock, and the OnePlus 8 Pro is quicker every single time in going straight to the home screen, picking up its first points in round 1. Now testing out the 2D face unlock on the OnePlus as opposed to the 3D on the iPhone, the OnePlus is quicker once again every single time here, but it's not quite as secure. Nevertheless, it was still quicker, picked up its second and final points in round 1. 2 for 2 there in round 1, making sure that we're hooked up to the same Wi-Fi network, max brightness, and all apps are closed in the background. Opening up the first app in round 2 is the settings app, which the iPhone opened up a tad quicker. Striking back is the OnePlus 8 Pro, opening up the calculator app slightly quicker than the iPhone 12 Pro Max did. And the second last system app we'll be jumping into here is the camera app. Going into that one, the iPhone 12 Pro Max opened that one up quicker, but flipping to the selfie cam, the OnePlus 8 Pro was quicker there. Now 2 for 2 in round 2. Taking the snap, the iPhone 12 Pro Max was a lot quicker there, and it saved the photos to gallery quicker as well. And going into that gallery on both devices, the iPhone 12 Pro Max was quicker once more. Jumping into the photo, the OnePlus 8 Pro was actually quicker in opening it up, but the iPhone loaded the entire page quicker, all the contents of the page, so no point was allocated over there. Going into Adobe Photoshop Express to open that photo up once more, the iPhone 12 Pro Max opened the app up quicker and went into the picture quicker as well. Now 6 points for the 12 Pro Max, 3 times as quick as the OnePlus device. So far so good for Apple. Can't seem to be tapping this correctly, but saving the picture to gallery, surprise surprise, the OnePlus 8 Pro was slightly quicker. It said save to gallery at the bottom of the screen, slightly quicker than it said save to gallery at the top of the iPhone screen. It actually said save to camera roll. Nevertheless, going into our next app, Adobe Rush, a video editing app. Jumping into this one, the OnePlus 8 Pro was quicker in opening it up and jumping into the project a hell of a lot quicker than the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Now you must remember the iPhone 12 Pro Max comes paired with NVMe storage, while we have UFS 3.0, not 3.1 storage on the OnePlus 8 Pro. So it's not the quickest storage around in terms of Android storage speed, and the iPhone's NVMe storage just always seems to be quicker when exporting videos. We're going to be exporting a 4K 25 frames per second video, compressing it down to 1080p, matching the frame rate. The iPhone did it in 4 seconds with that wonderful NVMe storage, as opposed to 14 seconds, 10 seconds slower on the OnePlus 8 Pro with UFS 3.0 storage. Now 7 points for the iPhone 12 Pro Max as opposed to 5 on the OnePlus 8 Pro. Going into Spotify, it was too close to call. They both did very strange things there. They both seem to have opened them at the same time. They loaded different things at different times, but they landed up with the same result. So I didn't allocate a point that time around, but going into Astral VPN, it was clear that the iPhone 12 Pro Max deserved that point. 8 points now, and after going into Astral VPN, turning it on, the iPhone still had a loading icon in the center of the screen, turning it on, so no point was allocated there since the OnePlus actually turned it on at the same time. Going into Google, the iPhone 12 Pro Max grabbed its 9th point, and going into Facebook, it was very close that time around, but all the loading happened on the OnePlus device, so the iPhone picked up its first double-digit point. Now 10 points for the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Now 11 points after opening up Instagram, slightly faster than that of the OnePlus 8 Pro. And going into Twitter over here, the OnePlus 8 Pro gets its 6th point. Now just 5 points behind that of the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which at the current point in time cost quite a lot more than the OnePlus 8 Pro. I'm sure the gap will be more narrow in terms of price when the OnePlus 9 Pro is released, but the OnePlus 8 Pro went into YouTube slightly quicker. The iPhone 12 Pro Max went into my profile, my actual page quick over here. The OnePlus 8 Pro played the video faster, but the iPhone 12 Pro Max loaded the whole page quicker, so no point was allocated there. Now 12 points for the iPhone as opposed to 7 on the OnePlus device. Now 8 for the OnePlus 8 Pro after opening up Netflix slightly quicker, but now 13 for the iPhone 12 Pro Max after going into my profile quicker that time around. Going into our first benchmark app of 2, Geekbench 5.2.5 here. Let's see which one can get a better score and pump through the CPU benchmark faster. Let's go ahead and have a look at the bottom right hand corner. I have sped things up 1 minute 59 seconds on the iPhone 12 Pro Max as opposed to 2 minutes 59.5 seconds on the OnePlus 8 Pro, more than a minute slower on the Android device over here, and the scores were a lot lower than the iPhone over there, almost half in some instances when it comes to single core. Going into 3D Mark over here, the iPhone 12 Pro Max opened it up quicker. It's interesting to note because the OnePlus 8 Pro actually opened up Geekbench quicker earlier, but it didn't run through it quicker. The iPhone also ran through 3D Mark quick over here. When it comes to wildlife, 1 minute 10 seconds as opposed to 1 minute 12 on the OnePlus 8 Pro, and we got 22.8 FPS on the OnePlus as opposed to 40 frames per second on the iPhone 12. 16 points on the iPhone so far as opposed to 9 on the OnePlus 8 Pro. And going into our first game of 4 here, Subway Surfers. Which one can do it? It looks like it's gonna be the OnePlus 8 Pro. I'm not quite sure. Sometimes it speeds up at the end for the iPhone, and it did indeed. 17 points for the iPhone 12 Pro Max as opposed to 9 on the 8 Pro, almost twice the points for the iPhone 12 Pro Max. But like I said, the iPhone is a lot newer. This test will be a lot more fair game when the OnePlus 9 Pro releases, and we now have double points on the iPhone 12, 18 points as opposed to the 9 on the OnePlus 8 Pro. Like I said, much more expensive phone, slightly more powerful when it comes to CPU, but there are certain aspects I prefer of the OnePlus device, opening up Among Us slightly quicker there as opposed to the iPhone 12 Pro Max now picking up its first double-digit points with 10 points, and the iPhone did indeed open up Temple Run 2 slightly faster before that game. Now PUBG Mobile, last game of the 4, last app of the 20, 12.5 seconds for the iPhone as opposed to 14 seconds on the OnePlus 8 Pro. Ending off round 2 with 19 points toward the iPhone as opposed to 10 on the OnePlus 8 Pro. I've sped through RAM management bottom right hand corner because both of them have no problems whatsoever keeping all these apps open in the background. Sometimes they have to reload certain things, but that's due to the internet connection, not due to the app being closed. All of these apps have remained open on all the devices, I can assure you of that, and we only have 6 gigs of LPDDR4X RAM on the iPhone as opposed to 12 of LPDDR5 RAM on the OnePlus, and the iPhone is having no issues here, probably because of great optimization. Nevertheless, 0 points for round 3 on both devices. Total score 21 points for the iPhone 12 Pro Max as opposed to 12 points for the OnePlus 8 Pro. Kind of strange here, but I must say I'm really excited to see the new Snapdragon 888 chipset within the upcoming OnePlus 9 Pro. Fingers crossed for that one. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it. This is TechNick, and I'll see you in the next one.